The work of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson is still on the move. Those of you watching us, go to rainbowpush.org or subscribe to our YouTube channel, or go to 773-373-3366, Freedom on your dial. Let's make some noise for Reverend Jesse Jackson. We love him so very much. You know, we've been working across the country helping allies and building satellites and chapters around the country. And in the city of Milwaukee is a very egregious attempt to take and foreclose on churches. And we're so very excited to have Pastor Stephen TIPTON from the El Bethel Church of God in Christ right in the heart of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we're in the fight to stop the tax and take. They've foreclosed on any number of churches in a very frivolous attempt to disqualify churches and say that they're not tax exempt. Just by the nature of the Constitution, churches are tax exempt as houses of worship. And Pastor TIPTON has gone through an arduous trial and tribulation in saving his own church, and we're glad to have him. Let's give him a warm Chicago welcome. Pastor TIPTON.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your situation and where we are right now.
Well, thank you for having me. It's so good to be here with you on this Saturday morning, and we're blessed to be here. My situation, it happened on the Saturday morning, just like this, around 6:38. I got a phone call, a wake-up call from another pastor that said that they're going to, they're excited because they're going to take care of my church just like I took care of it. And I was in between sleep, but I said, well, what you mean? The church is not for sale. He said, oh, it is. The city owns it now, and we're going to buy it from the city. And then, of course, that woke me up real quick. And I told him, well, the city can't take what they don't own. That church is fully paid for. But he said, well, the city now owns it, and so we're going to buy it from them. And so, of course, it rattled me for the weekend, but Monday morning early, around 7:30, I was at City Hall to find out that what they were saying was absolutely true. City have went in without me getting any notice. I wasn't told any of this. They went in, took the church name off the title, and put the city name on the title.
The city of Milwaukee.
The city of Milwaukee, and I no longer own the church. A church that was fully paid for, has been a church since its inception. The city took it, and now it was getting ready to go into sheriff's sale. And so the process that I had to learn real quick is that immediately I had to come up with almost $1,500 to just go before the Common Council to ask them if they would not sell my church. And as the person told me, there's no guarantee they would say yes. So your money that you do, you're doing it just to see if they will give you a chance.
Now, you ultimately ended up several $1,000s.
Absolutely. The amount that I had to come up is, when you add up everything, it's well over going on $18,000.
Over a 4-page document.
Over a 4-page
Not given due notice.
paper. Not giving me notice.
Bypass your church infrastructure. Church got a constitution, got a board of elders, all of that. City of Milwaukee moves in, forecloses on the church in the middle of a pandemic.
In the middle of a pandemic.
And any number of ministries that you have going on in Bethel could potentially be shut down and defunct.
Being shut down, and here's the embarrassing part. I would have came there and not known nothing about this had not I got that call. Because the window is short. If you don't respond within a certain amount of time, even paying the money is too late.
Well, you know, our speaker for today, Reverend Dr. Marshall Hatch, came to Milwaukee.
Yes,
Reverend Jackson came to Milwaukee.
Yes.
Tell our viewers and our listeners how significant it was for Reverend Jackson to demand a meeting with the mayor, and what has become from that momentary sit-in that we had. Hatch and I were out in the hallway. Reverend Jackson and Reverend Wilson were on the inside-outside gang.
Yes.
And it wasn't like the succession attempt on January 6th, by the way.
Right.
But we weren't going anywhere until we got a meeting.
We weren't going anywhere. Yes, you all came, and it was definitely positive. It moved the needle completely. Reverend Jackson and Reverend Wilson and others, we went back. Matter of fact, during the press conference, Reverend Jackson said, hey, let's go to the mayor's office, and he was not there. But he said, Tipton, we're gonna sit in his office until he come. Now, I'm not from Chicago, in Milwaukee. I was saying, oh my goodness, but as the Reverend said, if we go to jail, we go to jail. And I was like, well, I mean, I want to keep hope alive, but I ain't trying to sit in the Milwaukee County Jail. But anyway, we went in there, and it was Reverend Wilson here. She is nothing to play with, and pretty soon the mayor was dedicating the firehouse, but within those time they came in and we had a straight talk with him. And I want to thank Reverend Wilson here, because she demanded that you come now and say what you said to us in private to the media. And the mayor had to do it. And so not only did we have that, but we also have it in writing that he said that he is against it. And so you've been so influential with your wisdom and sharing that we're keeping them to the fire. We're not letting go, because this has to stop. Had not I, coming out of the pandemic, had I not had that amount of money, I would have lost a building that was fully paid for.
Well, I wish we had more time. We don't. There are churches, pastors, you're watching. Don't think this is unique to Wisconsin. It's happening in California. It happened in Illinois. It's happening all across the country. What should you do? Call us, 773-3366, and we can help you. You know, the church is tax exempt, and they're going to shut you down because you didn't fill out a piece of paper. You've been a church all through the pandemic. We're not going to let that happen. We'll sit in all around the country. We can also demand that these mayors issue an executive order releasing churches from the property tax exemption. The governors have to be challenged. That's why you have to register. That's why you have to vote. That's why you need to be a member of PUSH. Call us before you need help. Come on, join us right now. I got to go.